Lyles trying to find something. He stretches away. It is a global title.
Noah Lyles has once again stunned the world of track and field. His latest performance at the World Championships left fans speechless and rivals in disbelief. What he achieved on that Tokyo track isn't just another victory, it's a moment that could redefine his place among the greatest sprinters in history. Under the bright lights of Japan National Stadium, a crowd of nearly 60,000 witnessed history. For Lyles, this was more than a final. It was redemption, a chance to erase memories of the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, where he had taken bronze amid personal struggles and empty stands. This time, the crowd was loud, the energy electric, and Lyles in full control. His 19.52-second finish was only 0.01 slower than his 19.51 semifinal mark. With this win, Lyles joined Usain Bolt as the only athletes to win 4 straight 200-meter world titles, a streak Bolt achieved from 2009 to 2015. But Lyles isn't satisfied sharing the record. After the race, he smiled and said, "So you're saying if I get one more, I'll be the only one to do it? Woo! I can't wait for 2027. This victory didn't come easy. Months before Tokyo, Lyles battled an ankle injury that nearly derailed his season. Training in Amsterdam was brutal, with inconsistent sessions and poor starts. Still, he trusted himself. That belief showed early in the competition. In the semifinals, he stormed to a 19.51, his fastest time since 2022 and the quickest semifinal in World Championship history. It was a statement to every rival that the king of the 200 meters was far from finished. As the finalists took their marks, the tension was high. Lyles in lane 6 had a shaky start. Jamaican youngster Bryan Levell burst ahead through the curve, while Kenny Bednarek surged from the outside. But Lyles knew the race wouldn't be decided early. It was in the last 50 meters where he thrived. At halfway, Levell led with a split of 10.03. Bednarek and Tebogo followed close. As they entered the home straight, Lyles unleashed his top-end speed. His stride lengthened, rhythm smoothed, and the gap closed. Bednarek pushed hard, but Lyles stayed composed. In the final strides, the two Americans were side by side until Lyles edged ahead, crossing in 19.52. Bednarek took silver in 19.58, his fourth major runner-up finish. Levell, just 21, earned bronze in a personal best 19.64, narrowly beating Tebogo by 1/100th. "I didn't have the start I wanted," Lyles said, "but I knew my momentum would build after 150 meters. Patience was key. I stayed relaxed and got the job done." 4 years earlier, the same stadium had been a place of pain. The 2021 Olympics, held under COVID restrictions, left Lyles competing in near silence. The pressure and isolation pushed him into depression. He later called it one of the hardest periods of his life. In 2025, he returned to Tokyo renewed and joyful. Surrounded by fans, he finally experienced the moment he'd long dreamed of. "I didn't have good memories from 2021, he said. "Back then I was depressed, but now I'm happy. My face is blasted everywhere over Tokyo. This is amazing and such a joyous moment I am going to keep with me forever." The roar of the crowd as he crossed the finish line felt like closure. For an athlete once crushed by expectations, those same pressures had become his fuel. Few rivalries in sprinting are as consistent and respectful as Noah Lyles versus Kenny Bednarek. The two have pushed each other for years, meeting in countless finals on national and international stages. Their relationship hit headlines earlier this season when they exchanged words after the U.S. Championships, where Lyles again edged Bednarek for gold. After Tokyo, Bednarek spoke with humility and resolve. "I've been so close to gold," he said. "It's just a matter of time before I put everything together. Once I got off the bend, I stayed relaxed. I get a lot from the crowd. A few years ago, I might have been timid. Now I embrace it." Their dynamic, one man at the top, the other chasing, has defined this era of sprinting. Bednarek's 4 silver medals mark both frustration and consistency, while Lyles continues to raise the standard every time he steps on track. While Lyles and Bednarek are established, the Tokyo final also highlighted a rising generation. Bryan Levell, 21, became Jamaica's next great hope with his bronze. "It's a really very good feeling to know I can do it," Levell said. still stunned by his 19.64 personal best. Meanwhile, Letsile Tebogo, Botswana's Olympic champion and one of the sport's brightest talents, finished fourth in 19.65. Though disappointed, Tebogo showed maturity beyond his years. "You are not always going to win everything. You learn and we will see how I move on from this. I will get back to work now and hopefully be back stronger," he said. This 200-meter final wasn't just historic, it was one of the fastest ever. The top 4 athletes all finished under 19.70 seconds, a first in World Championship history. Britain's Jarnell Hughes clocked 19.78 for fifth, a time that would have earned a medal at most other meets. Even Australia's 17-year-old Gout, eliminated in the semifinals, made headlines as one of the youngest competitors at this level. The depth of competition shows how far the 200 meters has evolved. What was once dominated by a few stars is now a true global showcase of talent. For Noah Lyles, the 200 meters has always been his domain. Since bursting onto the scene as a teenager, he's made it his signature. Yet one goal remains: the Olympic gold. Since finishing fourth at the 2016 U.S. trials, Lyles has been nearly untouchable, losing only 3 times in 9 years, twice at the Olympics, taking bronze both times, and once at a Diamond League meet. His flamboyant personality, showmanship, and confidence have made him a global ambassador for track and field. Lyles' Tokyo victory adds another chapter, but he knows his story isn't done. The next World Championships will be held in Beijing in 2027, the same city where Usain Bolt shocked the world in 2008. It's fitting that Lyles' chance to surpass Bolt's record comes at the venue that launched Bolt's legend. If he wins, he'll become the only athlete ever to claim 5 straight world titles in the 200 meters. That milestone would make him the undisputed king of the event, not just in his generation, but in history. The parallels between Lyles and Bolt are striking, both charismatic, dominant, and redefining sprinting. Yet Lyles' path has been uniquely his own, marked by perseverance over perfection. Lyles' story reaches beyond athletics. His openness about mental health, willingness to show vulnerability, and ability to turn setbacks into triumphs have inspired fans worldwide. From a young man battling depression to a 4-time world champion, his journey mirrors the fight many face to stay strong when life tests you most. As he stood on the podium, gold in hand, the weight of his journey showed on his face. He smiled, not just for cameras, but for the realization that he'd conquered both the track and his inner battles. The crowd chanted his name. For Noah Lyles, this was more than victory, it was healing. "I am proud to be able to show all my skills," he said. Noah Lyles' 4th consecutive world title is more than a record. It's a statement, a declaration that resilience, belief, and patience can carry you to the pinnacle of sport. From the shadows of the 2021 Olympics to the brilliance of Tokyo 2025, Lyles has transformed pain into power and doubt into dominance. As he looks ahead to Beijing 2027, the story isn't finished. It's still being written, one sprint, one stride, one historic moment at a time.
Generations in your family, in your children, in their children, in their children. May his favor be upon you.
Noah Lyles may be the fastest man on the planet, but this time it's not his speed making headlines, it's his fiancée, Junelle Bromfield. After years of silence, the Jamaican Olympian has finally spoken out, breaking her silence on their relationship, her struggles, and the powerful moment that changed everything. On the 28th of September 2025, Noah Lyles and Junelle Bromfield took a step that had nothing to do with medals or world titles. At a live church in Orlando, Florida, the power couple stood side by side, professing their Christian faith in a joint baptism. The video, shared on Lyles' Instagram, showed them being immersed together as he captioned it with the Bible verse Joshua 24:15, "But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." This moment resonated far beyond athletics. Fans, fellow athletes, and media outlets around the world praised the couple for publicly declaring their faith. It wasn't about records, it was about values, family, and the foundation they want to build together. Junelle, who has often been more reserved compared to her outspoken fiancé, seemed to embrace the spotlight in this moment. For her, it wasn't just about baptism, it was about showing strength, resilience, and clarity in the face of criticism she has endured. While Lyles is the global face of sprinting, Bromfield has her own remarkable story. Born in Jamaica, she grew up in a culture where sprinting is a national obsession. By the time she was 8, she was already competing at the highest youth levels, showing the kind of resilience and hunger that would carry her to 2 Olympic Games. Her specialty lies in the 400 meters and the 4x400m relay, events in which she has represented Jamaica with distinction. At the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, she helped secure a bronze medal in the women's relay. She also earned medals at the World Championships, World Indoor Championships, and the 2022 Commonwealth Games. A 2-time Olympian and relay medalist, Bromfield's career speaks for itself. Yet, despite these achievements, she has faced intense scrutiny back home in Jamaica. Lyles himself spoke about this in 2024, praising her resilience. "She has been through so much in her life that I could never imagine fighting through," he wrote. But the most impressive thing I've seen recently is how she's dealt with the pure disrespect and hatred towards her from her own country. She keeps moving forward, knowing that God will always make a way. Junelle has quietly endured these challenges, but her silence was never weakness. It was her way of staying focused. Her baptism with Lyles was a powerful message. Her faith is her shield, and her future is hers to define. Lyles and Bromfield's love story has unfolded in front of the public eye. The two began dating in 2021, and by August 2023, Lyles proposed. In October 2024, they confirmed their engagement, setting the stage for what many are calling one of track and field's most high-profile weddings. Planned for spring 2026, the wedding is expected to be more than just a celebration of their union. It's being positioned as a cultural statement. Bromfield has already spoken about her vision for a melanin-inspired wedding, designed to inspire Jamaican children to embrace their heritage and identity with pride.
Nicest things you ever done for me was take care of me when I was sick. I couldn't even get off the bed and everybody was fighting around me and you were telling them, bringing order to everybody.
So one of the nicest things you've done for me is listen to all that I said I was lacked when I was growing up and tried to give it to me.
For Lyles, his devotion to Junelle has been visible in small but symbolic gestures. Before the Tokyo 2025 World Championships, he dyed his hair blonde, telling the media, "I want to be the man she fell in love with." In a sport where image and performance intertwine, and that statement highlighted just how important she is in his life. Their relationship has also bridged two nations that often view themselves as sprinting rivals.
The reason I dyed my hair was 2 reasons. One is Janelle says she fell in love with me with short hair. So I'm planning to cut the hair. And I said I'd never dye my hair again unless I was planning to cut it soon after. So I'm planning to cut my hair.
The fact that an American sprint star and a Jamaican Olympian are building a life together has sparked conversations about unity, love, and respect across borders. Some see their bond as symbolic, showing that even in a sport dominated by rivalry, love knows no boundaries. While Bromfield has stepped back from competition since her engagement, she remains an anchor in Lyles' life. She cheers him on through the highs and comforts him in the lows. When Lyles won his 4th consecutive 200 meters world title in Tokyo, tying Usain Bolt's legendary record, Bromfield was among the first to congratulate him. And it's not just about victories. Lyles has been open about his struggles with asthma, allergies, dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, and depression. He has never hidden his battles, and Bromfield has been a consistent source of encouragement through them. To him, her strength is just as important as any training session. Friends close to the couple have also revealed how Junelle has become an important stabilizing force in Noah's often hectic world. While he thrives in the spotlight with his larger-than-life personality, Junelle provides balance, offering him calm and perspective when the noise of fame grows too loud. Until now, Bromfield has often let Lyles' words carry their relationship in the media. But her recent decision to speak publicly, especially around their baptism and upcoming marriage, marks a turning point. She has made it clear, she isn't just standing beside Noah, she is carving her own space as a role model. By openly discussing her faith, her heritage, and her vision for the future, Bromfield is giving fans and critics alike a closer look at who she is. Her message is about more than athletics. It's about resilience, representation, and purpose. Her silence is broken, not with anger, but with conviction. And in that conviction, she's reminding the world that she is not defined by her fiancé's fame, but by her own story. She has even hinted at future ambitions beyond athletics, including a desire to mentor younger Jamaican athletes and possibly pursue higher education in psychology. For Janelle, the next chapter isn't just about being Noah Lyles' wife, it's about shaping her own legacy. Together, Noah Lyles and Janelle Bromfield represent something larger than themselves. He is the flamboyant showman, the Olympic champion who never shies away from the spotlight. She is the quiet force, the steady believer who has faced criticism but continues to rise. Their union blends two cultures, American and Jamaican, and now, through their baptism, two spirits walking the same path of faith. Their story is no longer just about sports, it's about love, faith, and resilience. It's about how two world-class athletes can use their platform to inspire far beyond the track. And it's about how a young Jamaican woman, once dismissed by critics, is now speaking her truth alongside one of the most decorated sprinters of his generation. Their journey has already inspired fans worldwide, but what makes it powerful is its authenticity. They are not perfect, nor do they pretend to be. Instead, they share their faith, their struggles, and their triumphs with honesty, and that honesty is what makes people believe in them. Janelle Bromfield's silence is over. In stepping forward, through her baptism, her wedding plans, and her own voice, she has redefined her image from simply Noah Lyles' girlfriend to a woman of faith, resilience, and inspiration. Together, she and Lyles are not just chasing medals, they're building a legacy rooted in love, strength, and destiny. The world has watched Noah Lyles race. Now, it's time to listen to the woman who's running beside him.
Kevin Chippy, can he turn it into a gold medal for Botswana? Kevin Chippy becomes the first ever champion.
Colin Chippy wasn't expected to win. At just 21 years old, running in heavy rain, he didn't just win, he shocked the world and made history. How did a young runner from Botswana deliver one of the fastest 400 meters races ever in such tough conditions? Colin Chippy was 21 years old when it happened. In Tokyo, with rain pounding on the track, he stepped up to the line and delivered what will go down as one of the most electrifying finishes in modern 400 meters history. That man is Busang Colin Chippy of Botswana, and this is the story of how a rising star stunned the world. It began long before that final burst, in the modest town of Hukunsi in Botswana. Born on the 13th of February 2004, Colin Chippy grew up far from the global spotlight. His journey through athletics was gradual. He wasn't an instant phenom, but a steady climber. Over time, he sharpened his speed, his endurance, and his race tactics. He first made noise in regional competitions and youth events, carrying a quiet promise. By 2021, he was already on the map, part of Botswana's 4x400M relay squad that won gold at the World U20 Championships in Nairobi. That was a glimpse of what was coming. He continued lowering his times. In 2022, he made noise on the African relay scene, and by 2023 at the World Championships in Budapest, he showed he belonged, slashing his personal best to 44.8 seconds to reach the semifinals. That steady ascent set the stage. In 2024, at the Olympics, he ran with Botswana's 4x400M team and brought home a silver medal. The experience taught him what it meant to race under pressure at the highest level. By 2025, he was no longer just a prospect. He was a contender. In Diamond League meets earlier in the season, he posted strong times: 44.53 inches, Xiamen, 44.63 inches Shanghai, and 44.51 at the Golden Gala in Rome. Those results confirmed he was peaking, but the world stage would be the ultimate test. The World Athletics Championships in Tokyo had heats, semifinals, and then the final. In the heats, Chippy ran 44.48, a season's best at that point, and safely advanced. In the semifinals, he shocked everyone by running 43.61 seconds, a new personal best and the world-leading time going into the final. Finals are different. In Tokyo, the rain came. The track was soaked. Every step became heavier, every lane more treacherous. Many athletes shrank under that pressure. But Chippy didn't. When the gun fired and the final began, South Africa's Zakithi Nene exploded out of the blocks, forcing a fast early pace. The favorites jostled for position. Chippy ran controlled, conserving his energy and watching the field. Then, in the final turn and into the home straight, he surged. Under relentless rain, he powered ahead. While others struggled with footing and fatigue, Chippy drove through the last 100 meters, rising to the challenge. When he crossed the line, his time registered 43.53 seconds, a national record for Botswana, the world's fastest time that year, and a new name was etched into history. He wasn't alone in making history. His compatriot Bayapon Dori captured the bronze with 44.2 seconds, giving Botswana a double podium finish. For the first time ever, a Botswana athlete stood atop the world in the men's 400 meters.